And welcome back to another edition of Bridgeside Sports. I'm your host for tonight. I'm Paul Liatzis, owner and director of Bridgeside Productions. We had a little vacation last couple weeks. Me and our very own Dave Casanova and Mark Liptis were in Europe and Greece and Malta. Wynn is back with us tonight. Yeah, we had a good trip. Wynn was also away, and he's back, but now we lost Phil this week to vacation, so this is Bridgeside Summer. We still have shows for you every day. We're posting stuff. We have live shows, sports on Monday, music Tuesday. We're going to kick it off. I want to introduce my panel here. As always, Wynn Allen Columbano, Wynn, the Godfather, the man of very few names, very interesting names.
Many names, apparently.
And right to his left, we have Mr. Donald Borst, Donnie Borst. And as always, as always, Chris, the analyst, Ventura.
What's up, people?
Rounding out the table. Guys, glad to have you. Glad to be here. I'm hosting for the first time.
Yeah, we got you here for the first time.
You know, I normally host a music show, but now I'm here for sports.
It was overdue.
Fantastic.
And
I wasn't really overdue.
Let me just say, we all know each other through sports, mostly, actually.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know Wynn since we were kids, but we played sports together our whole lives. Me and Donnie, baseball teammates. Yeah. We're at like 7 or 8. And Chris, we're Brooklyn Bandits teammates.
Right, yeah.
Bandits for life,
for a long
baby.
time, Bandits for life, baby.
This is our first year we didn't play. This is the first year we haven't played baseball with the team, and we have a sports show now instead. And I want to kick it right off to very, very active MLB trade deadline this week. A lot of things to talk about. I want to start it off. I'll go from Wynn and moving on. Yes, Chris.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
I think maybe should we bring up the question of the night for everybody?
Oh, we do have a question of the night, and you know what? This is very, very topical. Maybe not very sports topical, but a lot of people appreciate Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones. This is one of our favorite shows, and we just wanted to.
This is the show.
This is the show of all time, my opinion.
Show of a generation.
A show of a generation, of a lifetime. So the question of the night is, who is going to kill Cersei on Game of Thrones?
Who do we think? Right.
Or will she even die?
Oh, yeah, good. Yeah, there you go.
I was ready to answer it. I was so excited.
No, we have to wait. Please chime in. We're going to send us your opinion. We're going to go to the opinions and comments around 9:45, 9:50. Whenever we get to it, we got a lot of sports to talk about. But again, MLB trade deadline. Wynn, what's your takeaway from this week? Your biggest takeaway?
There were a lot of things that went on.
A lot of
obviously. A lot of trades.
Most impactful for you.
The last few hours, I guess, were very impactful around baseball.
Absolutely, yeah.
Gray obviously going to the Yankees and Darvish going to the Dodgers. I think are the two monstrous trades that I think have the biggest effect on the landscape of the American League and National League pennant races.
Right.
There were more little trades. Reed went to the Red Sox earlier today, which definitely bolsters their bullpen. But we're based out of New York, and I think we have to start with the Yankees, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, let's start with the Yankees. Sure.
I mean,
they did the most also. It seems that way.
Yeah, so let's start right there. I do like the trade. I do like the trade for Gray. They needed another quality starter, and Gray, when he's right, he's a dominant pitcher.
Yeah,
he was a top 5 pitcher in the league at one point in time.
Yes, he's still young. They still have control over him for another few years. He's not that expensive. So
2.5 years left. Yeah.
Right, and in this day and age, to get somebody for 2.5 years for, let's say, $8 million. I think he's arbitration eligible after next year, I believe it is.
He's getting like 3.5 this year.
Right,
it's
but
like
say he gets 10 in arbitration, whatever the case is. That's still an unbelievable value.
Unbelievable
value.
Right.
So shoring up their rotation with Pineda getting hurt, I think that was a big loss. Obviously, they traded for Jaime Garcia, which is another guy kind of more to eat innings. I feel like
right,
absolutely. Which they
but
need after looking at the Tampa Bay series this weekend.
Right. Between Garcia, between their bullpen, both. I mean, I think the Yankees are on good shape. I mean, the odds to win the pennant are now 3-1. Wow. The Yankees are 3-1 favorites in Vegas to win the American League.
This was after the trade?
This is after the trades.
Okay.
After they got Gray. Yeah.
Now let me ask you something about Gray. Is he a 3-year pitcher now or 4-year pitcher?
More.
He's more. He's
27.
He's 27. I think it's his fourth year in the league.
He's only had one really solid year. Right?
No, he's had two pretty good years. But last year he was hurt a little bit. He didn't have that great of a year. I had him on my fantasy team the year he had a monster year, and I actually let him go when I shouldn't have. And then Eric drafted him, and it ended up not being a great pick because he had a bad year. But he did bounce back this year. And when
the team's doing really well. It helps when you have an offense like that this year.
Right. I mean, wait, you mean the A's? or the Yankees?
Oh, well, not.
No, you mean now, right? Yeah.
Well, let me say this. Now we're on the table. Donnie, we finally even out the Mets and Yankee fans on
Finally,
this show.
yeah.
Finally, we have even
Absolutely, yeah.
blood here. Donnie, I want to reach over and give you that pound right there.
All right,
Thank you for being a part of the show.
Necessary, but-
It's completely necessary. I don't know what you're talking. I liked when you wear the hat. My favorite part of the show. Favorite show moment. There's something about the Yankees. They get the players when they need them, and they overexceed expectations. When Mets get big players, they underachieve almost every time.
That Sonny Gray trade
Except for
disgusted me
Cespedes.
today.
That was
Yeah.
astronomical. But
That disgusted me. What they didn't have to give
Why,
up. to
though?
get.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have to. They didn't have to give up the house, which is what you would have thought.
Well,
they
he's a
would
Met
have had
fan,
to do
too.
to get Gray.
he's a realistic Met
They
fan.
didn't give up Frazier. They didn't give up Gleyber Torres.
Right.
And look, they could have parted ways easily with the three guys that they did. I know that they're good prospects. I looked them up earlier today.
There's some studs. I mean, these are guys because the Yankees because the Yankees farm system is so loaded at this point. When you trade guys like Fowler and Mateo, if they were in a Blue Jay farm system, they'd be the number one prospect. But because the Yankees are so deep and so much talent in their farm system, you're kind of saying like. They're not that good. Why? Because they have Torres. They have a top 3 prospect in baseball ahead of them.
It also helped that they had a lot of good prospects actually materialize into full-fledged major league players this year.
Absolutely.
And the end of last year.
Absolutely.
So
I think part of the reason you don't always make trade away your prospects, you don't know how they're going to develop. So far, Sanchez, Judge, and Frazier have been very early, but he hasn't looked overwhelmed. He's been very, very successful thus far. I know it's still early, and the scouting report maybe hasn't gotten around them, throw the ball high and in, this, that, but they're able to trade the guys away because they've already had some success. How many outfielders can you have at the major league level? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They traded Fowler. How many can you actually
carry
have?
5
Assuming
typically, yeah.
Judge and Frazier assuming Judge plays well, assuming Frazier, I know it's a big assumption, is successful. Between them two and Gardner, there's your
you're paying
outfield
Gardner and
for the
Ellsbury,
next
right.
5 years. Ellsbury's got a ton of money. I mean, I don't know really what they're going to do with him, but he's not going anywhere. So you have your outfield pretty much set.
They got a lot of young blood on that team.
A lot
You
of
guys
young
are set.
talent.
it
Well, the outfield
materialized very
especially.
nicely, yeah.
Now,
Well-
I want to talk about another team who
Well, I
was
didn't.
already...
Wait a minute. I didn't say one damn thing about this subject. Are you damn kidding me right now?
I don't know why you kept your mouth shut.
I know you want to talk about, and I like when you say his
Jesus,
name.
I'm a Yankee fan. And got for,
All right, you want to talk about the Yankees?
Should have jumped in. I don't know.
no, I want to finish. I want to talk about this typical, particular subject about the Yankees trade here.
Okay.
First of all, Sonny Gray. This is Sonny Gray's 5th season.
Well, let's move on.
Okay.
This is Sonny Gray's 5th season, and so he's been around for a while. And yeah, he's had a couple of good years, of course. But after that injury, I mean, it's hard to say that he's a great pitcher. He's a good pitcher.
Yeah.
I would say.
The stuff
good.
is there.
I'd agree
He's a
with you
good pitcher.
The stuff is there.
He still has
He's
high
not a great
strikeout
pitcher,
stuff.
though, is what I'm saying. Not yet. He still needs to rebuild his pedigree a little bit.
No, I agree. Listen, he's not a Kershaw. He's not a Kluber. He's not a Scherzer.
No,
not
he's
even
not close. Yeah.
But he's a legit guy. When he takes the mound, you feel like you had a shot to win.
I'll
Right.
tell you this. He's
Right.
an ace on a lot of teams still.
100%.
Yeah, but that's
absolutely.
because pitching is just so bad, though.
He's an ace
No,
on
it's
half
hard
the
to
teams
find
in
to
baseball.
me- good pitcher.
To me, he's not a true ace, though. To me, he's a good number 3 or 2. He could be
Yeah.
a 2, but right now he's a good number 3, and that's what the Yankees are going to use him. But I think the trade was terrible for Oakland. I'm not. Well, the thing is, terrible right now. We don't know how these guys are going to pan out, but they didn't get. And I know you said, "Oh, well, the Yankees, because they have so many prospects, these guys could have been top prospects on other
Right.
teams." Yeah, they could have been top prospects on other teams, but out of the top 100 prospects coming into the season, I don't think. The Oakland got one. Maybe Mateo, I think, was maybe a top 100. That was about it. I think the rest of them are outside the top 100 prospects.
I think they. Are you sure about that? I think Fowler was the top
I'm pretty
100.
sure, because, I mean,
Fowler-
before the season. It
Now,
was,
I will say, though, that I don't like the trade for Oakland for their season. They got two guys who have had. Fowler blew up his knee in his first game ever, in the first inning in the major leagues. Torn patella, destroyed.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you don't know
So
what
he's
he's
hurt.
going to come back like.
And
That's
someone
not
else is hurt.
exactly. And Caprillion he's got a. I just had Tommy John.
yeah, right.
So you have two guys who are bad injuries. Granted, Tommy John, the way it is these days, it's really not a death sentence the way it used to be.
Yeah,
Guys
'cause it
come back
happens all the time.
stronger. It's so common.
But you lose a season,
But you
sometimes
lose
a season and a half.
and you never know.
Yeah.
And you never know. So that for that reason, I don't love the trade. But they did get
Right.
Mateo, who going into last year was the Yankees' best prospect.
Was he?
He was their bet before they traded for Torres, before Judge,
Well, Judge was only was behind, actually, I think he was even behind Frazier.
Well, they didn't have Frazier at the beginning of last year.
Okay.
So they traded for Frazier in the Andrew Miller deal.
Yeah, the
Right.
Indy deal.
Right. So they got Sheffield, they got Andrew in the Miller trade, they got Frazier, but Mateo was their guy. He was the guy that everybody saw, Jorge Mateo.
Right.
Now with all these other guys they have, he kind of got lost in the shuffle a little bit. He's got 40 steals.
No, I know.
He's got 40 steals in Double A.
Here's my thing. You can never guarantee prospects are going to turn out to be great MLB players. I mean, a lot of times, even first-round, first picks don't end up being as good as they're supposed to be. Perfect example, Justin Upton. Justin Upton was a first-round, first pick overall. He ended up being a very good MLB player, but he wasn't an elite MLB player by any means.
I tell you what, though, if you draft Justin Upton as the number one overall pick, he's had a pretty darn good career.
He's had a good career, yeah.
I mean, he's not Ken Griffey Jr., but,
Right, but what I'm saying is-
he's going to get a guy who's going to end up with 300,
He's giving you some good
home
years.
runs.
Baseball
Yeah,
is the
giving you
one
some good years,
sport, unlike basketball and football, you don't come right out of the draft into the league. You go through the minors for a long time. A good couple of years at least.
Career minor leaguer sometimes.
Yeah, some people become career minor leagues. So what I'm saying is, if you're not a top 100 prospect, or if you're not a high-end prospect, I would have never gave Sonny Gray away. One, he's 27. He's not 32. Okay? That's one.
No.
Two, he's not good enough where he's going to get, unless he does really well in the next 2 years. We don't know what his contract re-signing is going to be like. We don't know how much money he's going to get.
Oakland can't sign anybody.
They probably
though.
can't. Yeah, they probably can't.
If you think about,
Are you worried about the money right now? Are you as a Yankee fan? Are you really worried about what he's
No.
making?
I'm talking
Come
about
on.
this for Oakland.
No,
You know what I
Oakland's
noticed? What-
perspective.
Okay.
I'm back in
Oakland
Oakland.
perspective.
No, can I just say this about Oakland? Oakland does not have any money to
Yeah,
sign
they're
players.
bottom five market.
That's why they're constantly they get a guy for 3-4 years, they sell him, bring back 3 prospects. I mean, look at Donaldson. They traded Donaldson, ended up being a horrible trade.
Right.
Cespedes. Guys who are very good for them. They say, you know what? We've had them for 2-3 years. We can't pay them in another 3
And
years.
that's a whole other issue.
When they
Giambi
become
back in
free
the
agents.
day.
And leverage.
He said
Gio Gonzalez
They
is
didn't-
gone.
You didn't trade Giambi. They didn't trade
Oh,
Giambi. They
he
kept
signed-
him,
yeah.
and they
Then
couldn't
let him
resign
go.
him.
Yeah,
So
they let everybody go.
Gio
Tejada.
Gonzalez gone, Straley gone, all these guys that were top prospects.
correct.
That's
Anderson at
that's a
one
problem
point.
with baseball in general. I mean, that's a whole other conversation we'll talk about.
but
salary
leverage,
cap?
market
But
leverage.
based on
you know
your-
what I'm saying?
ba-
Yankees have the leverage
Chris,
here.
based on your point, though, it sounds like what you're saying, based on the prospects, if you're not a top prospect, it's really more of just a numbers game. You get more prospects, there's more of a
Right,
chance
I
that they
get
pan
that.
out. So the A's did
But
probably
it's
do well
Sonny
then, because
Gray, and
I
you're
believe they
talking
got
about a
about
guy
8
that's
prospects this
27.
year in the trade deadline.
But what do
season.
the next 3 years look like for the Athletics?
Probably
the
not
same
good,
as
but
this year.
that's a guy you could still
67
build a
wins.
team with because he's 27. He's in his prime.
But they don't have any
he's
money
a prime,
to pay.
He's
Right,
a,
that's
he's
the
not
problem.
a prime number 1 pitcher. He's a prime 3,
It
low
would
end
be
2. You're
different
saying.
if, let's say, his contract was up at the end of this year. I think it would have been really dumb to get rid of him because you could probably re-sign him after this year for not as much as he could be worth. Because in 2 years from now, he might sign for a lot more than he's worth now because he might do well.
Oakland.
Right now, his value is not at its peak point. If he starts doing really well,
No, but
then
you
it
also
will-
don't know if it could actually be at its peak point.
Well,
now.
yeah, it might
You
drop.
go to the Yankees and you just get destroyed in the AL East.
Exactly.
In a-
But what I'm
in a
saying is,
bunch of hitters
you have
ballpark,
a chance. I know that there's 2 years left in his contract, but this is a guy you still want. Like, this is a guy they coveted when he came up. This is a guy you build around, a pitcher. You build around ace pitchers. Now, I know he's not an ace right now, but he could still develop to be an ace. He's only 27.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That's all I got to say.
So I want to get this in because I don't think Sonny Gray is nearly the biggest acquisition so far this trade deadline. Let's talk a little bit about Darvish.
I mean, that was a powerhouse team already, the
Oh my
powerhouse
gosh.
team, and he just made them more of a powerhouse team.
And it was a very similar
It's
trade.
Unreal.
3 prospects.
The only thing better
What
that
are
they
they,
could have done
43
was got
games over
Britton.
500 right now?
43, yeah.
Wow. I was away for 2 weeks. I feel like
All
I
right.
was out of the loop. When?
So,
did you hear all these acquisitions?
the Darvish
You paid
trade.
attention while you were away?
It's my job, man. The Darvish
Paid
trade.
big bucks here at Bridgeside.
The Darvish trade is fantastic for the Dodgers. They have a dominant pitching staff now. If the Dodgers do
In a couple
not-
weeks.
once Kershaw comes out, if the Dodgers do not win this year, they're not going to win.
I'd have to agree
They're
with
never
that
going to win for the
completely, yeah.
rest of the.
They're not winning in the Kershaw
Wait, what's
era
the
if
deal
they
with
don't win
Darvish you
this
just
year.
said? Contract?
This is last year. That's it.
you
He's a
think
free
they'll
agent after this
re-sign
year.
him?
I don't think they're gonna. I mean,
No,
they
he's
might.
gonna-
They might,
he-
but that's why they didn't get such a big return back. When they traded Darvish, the Rangers didn't get the stud prospects that
Because
they could
his
have got
contract.
because he's only they know
Right.
he's a rental.
He's
You know what I mean?
relatively young. Also, he's gonna want like Max Scherzer money, like 205 or something.
Hold on, I will say
He
this,
won't
though.
get it because he's definitely not reliable.
I will say this.
Injury-wise.
Japanese
One of the best when he
pitchers,
pitches, though.
Injury-wise.
Japanese pitchers tend to break down the longer they
Yep.
pitch. They're
Yep.
not. It's a
Seems that
different.
way, yeah.
It's 6-7 days rest. It's not 4. You're not going every 5th day. You're starting 25 games as opposed to 35 in Japan. It's a big difference. A lot more innings. And I love Darvish. He's dominant when he's healthy. You know, he's dominant. He's filthy. He's got a ridiculous high K per 9. He's got a good whip.
No, he's a great pitcher.
He's
No,
dominant. With him and Kershaw 1-2, you are not supposed to lose.
That's absolutely
You're not
correct.
supposed to lose.
But he's
It's
not. Kershaw's not
established
there right now.
when Kershaw and Darvish pitch. They are two of the most dominant pitchers in the league, which
100%.
makes it so dangerous.
Very
and then you
dangerous
throw in Wood, who's just been unreal. Rich Hill is starting to become Rich Hill again somehow. And we thought he was done again this year.
Rich Hill was pitching for the Long Island Ducks 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Now it's-
Well, he's got that filthy curve.
Now he's getting 10 mil a year again.
I know. I know.
Just to go over
Scared.
some other trades.
Yeah.
Just
I
to
gotta-
graze over it. Oh, you want to talk? You want to say something?
No, go for it because I got one though.
I was just gonna say a couple other big
Got
ones
me
were
excited.
LaCroix to the Rockies. They got a catcher now, so they're trying to make a move. Obviously, Arizona got J.D. Martinez. We talked about that last week. I'm pretty sure. Oh, actually, Washington got another bullpen piece, Brandon Kinsler from Minnesota. So they're building that bullpen up. I think there was a couple other bullpen guys. That
Liriano went to the Astros.
Well,
right?
Watson and
Liriano with the
Cingrani also went to the Dodgers this afternoon.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
And last time I was on this show, it was only like twice I've been on the show. Last time I was on the show, I got very heated about one particular New York Met that I felt was always a waste.
Grandy?
He has his
Nope.
spurts. He's a
Duda.
nice guy. Duda.
Duty.
Lucas Duda's gone.
I love Duda. Really, you don't like Duda?
I never liked. I love Granderson, but Duda, he just doesn't stay healthy. He's not a bad first baseman, and he can obviously he's got pop, but he never stays healthy for a full year. We had the option to potentially put Murphy at first, and they didn't even explore that. Maybe they did within the organization. They didn't explore that option as far as we knew about getting rid of Duda and keeping Murphy.
They
for
mismanaged the Murphy thing on many
$36
different
million
levels.
for 3 years.
Yeah,
they could have
give him
had
12,
Murphy
yeah.
at first base. I would have had him at first base
But
for
they
the rest
wanted
of my
Seth
life.
for this.
And by the way, who did they replace Murphy with?
Neil Walker,
Walker.
who
For
started
about-
off great.
But for about $10 million a year. And
Yeah.
you didn't pay Murphy, who produced for you beautifully in the
I mean,
playoffs.
Murphy's
I can't stand
MVP
it, yeah.
numbers the last couple of years.
Second in voting last
And
year. Yeah.
he actually made Washington a better team
Better
with his
team,
techniques.
and made the Mets
he
a
taught
worse
Ryan
team.
Zimmerman how to hit better.
It not only made them better, it made us worse. It made them better at the same time. It put us 10 games behind, like just instantly with that move.
It's
Unreal.
actually
But goodbye, Duda. Thank you for the times, those 6-game streaks of 8 home runs, and then going to the injury.
Hold
really
on,
had
hold
something
on.
against him. Jesus.
As Met
I
fans,
got really upset last time.
you got to be a little excited about Ahmed Rosario getting called up.
I'd like
You
to
have
see him
to,
play.
anything
right?
new, right?
You
Yeah,
hear
we gotta-
names, you hear, I don't.
Number 3 prospect in baseball. It's supposed to be a stud shortstop.
Yeah.
Like can't miss guy. You know, he was actually this is only the Mets. I don't know if you guys saw this a couple weeks ago. He was actually tweeting like something like, "When am I going to get called up?"
no, he didn't.
I'm Google it. I'm not kidding.
Twitter.
He was tweeting or on Instagram making posts like, "How come the Mets haven't called me up yet?"
That makes sense, though.
Hashtag bring me up.
They should-
like
yeah,
crazy stuff.
that
like
makes-
They should
that
change
makes sense
Twitter
to
to
me,
like
though.
Instigator because
They're
it's
more
literally just
yeah.
instigating.
Everybody's more headstrong.
Every-
That's
these
a great
days,
name for an app. You should have held that one
Instigator.
out. Now the world's going to see
Instigate.
that.
Oh my god, that's
Instigator.
awesome.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, look, I came up
Use
with
that.
something. I'm brilliant.
Bridgeside Instigator.
Instigator.
It's
Coming
got to be
soon.
Bridgeside.
2018.
But
Winners, losers.
hopefully Rosario, for Met fans, hopefully he turns out to be
Somebody.
somebody.
A
Yeah.
player.
He
A
will.
player.
Somebody productive.
At the
Shortstop.
worst, he'll be a very good defensive major league shortstop because he's got a cannon and everything.
He's got
and
great
won't-
speed.
But we'll see how he hits. Yeah, that's the thing. You got to see if he's going
Gotta
to be a
hit
great
the major
hitter
league
or a
level,
good
yeah.
hitter or what. You
They
know?
don't have enough. They don't have enough of a lineup to carry a defensive player.
At this
So you
point,
got-
they don't.
Right,
And
no,
I heard-
right.
You know, I know why they traded Duda, and it was a smart move because guess what? They got this kid. I heard this kid's a pro hitter already. Dominic Smith, first
Waiting to come
baseman
up for
down
first.
there.
Well, he was
another
another
top
big prospect,
Yeah,
yeah.
He supposedly he's raking. Supposedly he's ready. This kid. So I like that kid too, Smith. I think he's going to be a better hitter than Rosario. Actually,
But
the
again,
first baseman though.
in the Mets, and this is the last thing I'll say, the Mets farm system, you're in Las Vegas, it's a very, very hitter-friendly park. It's like an Coors Field.
Right.
You know, so if you look at their numbers, they're always a little bloated, they're a little higher.
skewed, yeah.
A little skewed.
Graded on the curve.
But
what?
still,
Grade them on a curve.
I
when
mean,
they're there.
Rosario's hitting 330, and he got 19 steals. So in just AAA. So 20 steals, that doesn't change.
Right.
Speed is there.
Speed is there.
Yeah.
Only for the
You know?
beginning, though.
As long as you get the
It
opportunity.
changes as you get older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the problem in baseball.
Right.
Base stealers end up, especially if they get hit, they lose all that because they want it to bat third and they don't want it to steal and get hurt. It's dumb. I don't like it.
So
Take less risks. Absolutely.
not pennant race. MLB trade deadline. Just team with the best success.
Well, we're going to talk
just say
about
the
pennant
team.
too. I think
We're going to get to the pennant
Yeah.
race next, but I just want to
biggest-
end this topic and
Biggest winner's got to be
Biggest winner for
has
you.
Yankees and Dodgers.
Yeah.
More Yankees.
No,
than
no,
they
one
got-
team. One team.
Yankees with the trades they made with
Yeah,
Frazier
I
and
have
Robertson.
to go-
Yankees.
So you go Yankees.
I have to go Yankees based on what they gave up. I mean, they got a little bit of power at third base. They got 2 starting pitchers, and they got David Robertson back. I mean, that's
Conley.
they did, and Conley
Yeah, they
also.
beefed
Yeah,
up the bullpen.
I mean, they did the best. Yeah.
Real quick, I just want to say I actually spoke to my father a couple days ago before we made this trade. When we had Frazier and we talking about that trade, I said I thought it was a good trade. I think that the bullpen was very important to stack that up. I said I don't really like Frazier. I think that was like not a good enough swap for me at third, but whatever. But I said to my dad, I said, Dad, we really need like a 3-starter, a 2 or 3 starter to fill this spot that Pineda left, and then we got it. So I think they did a great job. I think it's the Yankees. They did a great job filling the need they had.
yeah, that happens all
That
the
was the
time.
need they had.
I'm going to just one last thing on the Yankees. I mean, I guess we'll bring them up too because they're still in the race. But being in Europe,
Oh,
we were in
absolutely,
Greece and
right.
Malta. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, Yankee memorabilia is just everywhere. It's such an iconic logo. I found a store with a Met hat too, a Yankee and Met hat, but there was like 7 Yankee hats of different colors and one like Met hat sitting there.
One little
and no one,
this is the hat right here. You
New
wear it
York, New York for everybody else in the world is a big place. Obviously like the mecca of the world in a lot of ways. But the Yankees, man, they just make money off of things you don't even think about. So
It's
for
unfair.
their budget, it's unfair. Maybe there should be a salary cap or something to even out the.
Well, there is.
playing
They have to pay a large luxury
Yeah,
tax
there's a
when they go
luxury
over
tax.
it.
There is a luxury tax.
Yeah.
But it's not enough because, like,
But they
you
have
see,
the
like
luxury
Oakland,
to pay the tax.
But
That's
look,
the point.
Oakland's getting out leveraged by the Yankees every time on a trade like that. That's going to happen every time to these small market teams. They get
So-
That's always been the case, and it probably always
This is
will.
another
They have no
topic
choice
for another
almost.
time. Another topic for another time. But we're going to move on. Staying with baseball, though. Staying with baseball, we are moving on to pennant race favorites.
I'm gonna get called a homer. I'll
So
start.
let's start. Let's start with the NL pennant. Let's switch
All right,
up the
let's
NL.
go
We've been
there.
talking AL a lot.
Well, I'm gonna go back to my very prediction beginning of the year, where I picked the San Francisco Giants to win the World Series. That turned out pretty horribly, actually.
No, I mean,
They're
you're still there, right?
They're 26 games under 500. So
Bumgarner hurt.
Bumgarner get
That was
hurt.
not the only thing that hurt.
Yeah, but that
Worst
hurts.
team in baseball.
That's your
Samaj is getting lit up. Cueto's not the same. They're bullpen
terrible.
stinks. They're
Right,
horrible. So I'll just say
They'll win it next year, though, because
I would say
what's
I
the
was,
pattern for them?
I would say I was completely wrong on that.
Right.
I would say I was completely wrong. But how do you go against the Dodgers right now? But I don't want to take the Dodgers. Kershaw never pitches well in the playoffs. I'm not going to say the Dodgers.
Not never. I looked at those stats.
We went over this
They're-
4 times.
No, I
They're
looked at
not
them
great.
specifically.
They're not
terribly
great, but
alright,
he's had
bad
some
win
really
loss.
good games.
They're not great numbers.
Okay.
I'm struggling here because the Cubs and the Nationals are both teams who have the talent. It's just a matter of who gets hot at the right time.
The Cubs.
The Cubs are on fire right now. They're going to run away with that division. At the
I don't
All-Star
believe
break, they were 4. You don't think so?
No.
They were 4.5 out at the All-Star break.
And now they're
No,
playing
I
ahead
know,
of
I
them.
understand they're playing good ball right now, but they were playing terrible ball before.
Yeah.
And now they got
Yeah, so
Quintana
it's,
too. Oh, another team we forgot that. I know that wasn't the trade deadline, but
I
made a
Justin
good
Wilson, yeah, another good one today.
I'm going to go with the Cubs. National League Cubs.
They're going to make it out.
I think they do again. Don't you? I know people are going to say, "Oh, Nationals better. You get started. You get this." I'm going to go with the Cubs. They did it last year. They've won. They're tough, gritty team.
To
I
win the
like
World
them.
Series, you're
to
saying?
win the National League.
Okay.
No, it's just the pennant. I'm going to go
oh,
with
the
the Cubs.
pennant. Okay.
Yeah.
What about the AL pennant?
Don't ask questions. You're not the host.
We'll do NL. We'll do
I'll
NL
just
first.
continue
We'll move
with-
on to AL.
Oh, I was just going to
Let's do
go
NL.
with the AL point, but okay.
Let's do NL. Here.
If I were going to go with the NL, I go Dodgers without a doubt. You don't believe in them, I guess, but it's that pitching staff's just unbelievable. If they don't show up one day, they're going to show up the next day. The lineup it's good, it's young. They hit for power. They have several guys that hit for with great average also. I mean, they're very balanced. They have speed. The Dodgers are the wire-to-wire team there.
It's a disappointment if they don't.
Absolutely,
It's a big
yeah.
disappointment
It's
if
a
they
huge
don't.
disappointment.
Yeah.
And even though the Nationals are a great team, they pitch. I mean, if Strasburg is healthy, and he's only pitched one playoff game right in his career.
Yeah, but
Oh, and by the way, just to add to that, I mean, usually the last piece, which everybody's usually missing, is the closer, and they have one of the best already.
So.
And that was the piece they didn't need.
Yeah.
So,
who?
Jansen.
Okay, yeah, of course. Well, I was going to say, first of all, Washington, Dodgers, they already ran away with this.
So who do you like between both of them?
Oh, to win the pennant?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I'm not counting out the Cubs. I'm just saying those.
So
two
those
teams
are the
ran.
three teams.
Those are the three. Well,
Who do you pick?
Arizona's in there.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
You talked about them
I
earlier.
love
Wasn't this?
Arizona.
Wasn't this?
Listen, are you kidding me?
question? Are you kidding me?
Right. Well, now they have no chance to win the division at this point, especially
Yeah.
now they
No.
got Darvish. It's over. But they're going to be the wild card team.
It was over before that. 13 games.
No, I know. Now it's 14 games.
Yeah.
Yeah. At one point they were only like 4.5.
No, I know.
But them in Colorado, I guess. You got Milwaukee still in the mix. But that's really it. But Arizona's going to get into the wild card game. I think they'll win that. But I don't know anymore. I picked Arizona to go to the World Series. I mean, these teams are dominant. The Dodgers are dominant. Washington's ridiculous too. And the Cubs are going to get hot. And they're getting hot at the right time.
Who do you least want to see in a 5-game series? It's harder in the
Right
five.
now, the Dodgers.
Oh, the
Oh,
Dodgers.
absolutely.
Right now, the Dodgers.
pitching's just the 1, 2, 3.
I'd say the Dodgers are the favorite right now.
You could theoretically face Kershaw and Darvish 4 out of 5 games.
That's disgusting. I don't know how the Mets did it a few years ago. To be honest, we got
Well, Kershaw and
it's
Greinke.
Kershaw
right?
and Greinke. It was,
and by
it
the
was
way,
a big
Kershaw
thing when they did it.
actually
Right,
pitched
right.
decent in that series, and they
Yeah.
still beat them.
That
Greinke
was-
and Kershaw both pitched
That's when we
well
thought
in
it was
that series.
destiny, Donnie.
Yeah.
Daniel Murphy.
Yeah, he was.
That's
He was
why.
unbelievable. That whole.
That's why.
We needed one more round to do that, and we would have been sitting here with the rings on our fingers. I don't know how we would get a ring, but we'd
Yeah,
have
it
a
doesn't
fake
make any
one.
sense.
I'd
Okay.
get myself a fake ring.
AL's a lot more close when it comes to the races
Yeah.
and the divisions and
So
stuff.
ultimately, once you start off, we'll come back down snakes
right.
now.
So obviously Houston's running away with that division, but they've been running away, and I think that's going to lull them to sleep. They're going to
You want to be hot, going
right?
in.
They're going to be like cruising into the playoffs, and I think that's going to hurt them. So, and they didn't really do good in this trade. They didn't do anything really in this trade market right now. They didn't get any. They got Liriano, who stinks. You know what I mean?
No,
He's a
they
back-end
needed
guy.
him though. They needed
Yeah,
him.
he's a back end guy though.
But you actually want. I mean, they don't have that many people with experience on their playoff experience.
Right. That's
So
another
you
thing.
want one of those guys on your team. You need that old timer.
Sure. And
that's been
McCullers
there.
always gets hurt. And,
Yeah.
they have a lot of injury.
You
prone
actually
pitchers.
want that
So
guy.
you want depth, yeah. But they could have did more, I think. And you know what? They can't fall asleep, even though they're running away with the division. Cleveland's getting hot now. You got the Yankees who made moves. I mean, it ain't going to be it's not going to be an easy road to the World Series. That being said, I think that in the end, it's going to come down to Cleveland and Houston. I think Cleveland's going to actually make the World Series again.
Yep. They're going to be hungry. They're going to be like, I think that as
Yeah, I
well.
think they're getting
going
hot
to be
at the right
like the
time.
Kansas City team of a couple of years ago. They lost in the World
think it might be
Series and then
Cleveland.
came back and won the next
Maybe
year.
Cleveland, Chicago again.
Could be.
Well, I'm actually going.
And I'd give it to Cleveland this year.
I'm going to take your lead, and the one team that I would not want to see in the playoffs this year is Kansas City, who's
Okay.
also hot as hell. I believe they are going to make They are going to make the playoffs, whether it's the division, if Cleveland slows down just a little bit,
Yeah, it's crazy how
or they
hot-
get into the wild card spot. They will win that wild card game, and then I would not want to play them. It's just a balanced hitting team. You add another great average bat in Melky, and so they could finally sit Alex Gordon with his 185 batting average, and they're pitching.
But then he'll get
It's
into the playoffs and go on a hot streak.
Yeah,
It
I
does.
get. Well, if they're not,
It
if you're not
does.
playing, I mean, but they're balanced. Also, in their pitching staff, no ace, of course, but just a bunch of threes.
They did
and,
that. But they won with
and that could
already.
work.
They
Yeah,
did it already.
Yeah. So I'm going with Kansas City.
Kansas City.
And I'm actually going to go off the board and say that they win the pennant in
They
the AL.
win the pennant.
We got
Kansas
so we got
City.
Cleveland.
Oh,
we got
yeah, that's
Kansas
already
City.
kidding me, right? Territory. Right?
Well, by the way, no, it also
Oh, I gotta
stems.
know you kidding.
It also stems
Kidding me for tonight.
slightly logically from the fact that I don't trust Houston, though, and Houston should be the runaway favorite. But I don't favor. I don't.
Houston, Cleveland, and the Yankees and the Red Sox are all way better than the Kansas City Royals. Way better. All
Way
four of
better
those
to
teams.
stretch. I don't know.
If the
We'll see.
Royals
Yeah,
ended
don't
up,
sleep on the Red Sox.
if the
either.
Royals ended up in 4th place in that division, it wouldn't surprise me. You think they're going to win the pennant?
Yeah, he thinks they're going to
I
win.
think they have a very good shot. Yeah.
Come
I
on,
like it.
Donnie.
You got to know. You got.
Come on,
You know,
Donnie.
if this happens, and
Yeah.
Donnie, we can go back to the tape. It's not like just talking, like after a game.
You
like
thought
as
the
friends.
Giants were
Now
going
we
to
have
win the
video
World Series.
proof. It
my,
happens.
my next comment
not
was
a
going to
bad
be
pick,
that's
though.
almost be worse than picking the Giants
But that's
right
not
now.
a bad
But no, it's
before
not because they're
season.
playing very well.
Listen, I
No,
said
yours-
I
It's all about
actually-
getting hot at the
yours
right
is
time.
done.
How many games out there are they, Donnie?
It's going to be great.
How many
The two
games
games-
out?
Well, they're in the
Two
wild
games.
card spot right now. They're in the second
They're
wild
2
card
games
spot.
behind the Indians.
Yeah.
The Royals.
Okay.
All right. Yankees. That's it. Done.
Yankees.
Yankees.
That's it for you?
Terrible.
What else do I have to say?
Homie, there's
They
a
got-
home
it's-
favorite thing.
Say what you want. Their bullpen's the best in baseball by far. The Nationals starting rotation, I don't trust. Keuchel is a stud. If he's healthy, that's one thing. But the
Right.
rest of those guys, the
Oh, yeah.
McCullers, the McHughes, not big
McHughes.
fans.
Who do you
not
think-
big fans.
Please back this up a
Fires,
little more.
Musgrove.
Who do you think when you get into, like I said, a 5-game series?
Yes.
Who is going to step up for them as a pitching staff?
Who?
Who is
The
going to be the
Astros?
pitcher? You're hoping that.
Well, Keuchel might have to pitch
no,
3
Keuchel
times.
Yankees.
Oh, Tanaka.
You think Tanaka's-
Tanaka throws gems in big
in
games.
clutch. He's clutch. You
He's-
always liked him.
I gotta say, he come a playoff game, he threw a great game against Keuchel. I shouldn't say great, threw 3 runs, whatever, but pitched well against the Red Sox. They didn't really need.
What's the
big
rotation
game,
now with Gray in a playoff series, in a short playoff series?
Tanaka.
Tanaka, Gray,
Severino.
Severino.
Well,
No,
it's gonna be
Severino 3.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know
Might be
what I mean.
Severino,
It might
too.
be, it might be
What do you think
Severino
they do?
1.
Possibly.
Gray's better than Severino.
No,
That's
he's not.
completely
Yes, he is.
No,
incorrect.
he's not.
Yes,
You're
he
out of your mind.
Yes, he is.
Crazy.
Are you
Another?
nuts?
Are you kidding me?
So, guy,
Another one.
He's at
2
the.
and 10 in
He
5
has a
minutes.
harder fastball than Syndergaard, and people are talking about Syndergaard.
Sonny
Oh,
Gray's
ooh,
better
get
than
out of
Severino
here!
right now?
Are you crazy?
He hasn't been that consistent for that long.
His ERA's at 3.
Oh,
in the
yeah, no,
American League East.
Yeah, he's having a good year.
Based on
I'll
pedigree,
agree with
you're
you.
saying?
Correct. Yes.
You were just saying Gray before wasn't very good in terms of pedigree.
No, I said I also said at one point Gray was the top 5 pitcher in baseball.
And
He was. Yes, he was at
I
one
think,
point.
at
Yes, he
top
was.
5. All right,
Top
but whatever.
10,
Yes, he was.
Whatever. The Yankees pitching staff is lights out at this point.
Lights out?
I shouldn't say their
Lights
bullpen.
out?
Their bullpen. I meant to say bullpen.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
okay.
Their
But
bullpen.
The problem is
their
you two are
bullpen
way
oh,
too
so
gassed
deep.
up on the Yankees fucking
So
rotation.
Their bullpen
Sorry.
is lights out. It's a 4-inning game. Let's be honest, 4 or 5 inning game.
Yeah.
Robertson, Conley, Betances, Chapman. Good night.
What are you talking
See you
about?
later.
We saw this weekend against a meager Tampa Bay team that didn't work. What do you mean?
How didn't it work? They won 3 out of 4. It's not good enough.
Yeah.
No, they should have lost Saturday, and they did lose Sunday when their starters couldn't go.
No. They
more than-
lost Sunday because they
complete-
left 17 guys in scoring position. That's why they lost Sunday. Nothing to do with their pitching.
Well, Sonny,
mean? The pitchers
Sonny
couldn't
Gray,
go more than 3
Sonny
innings.
Gray's
They gave
exactly
him
what they
5
need.
runs.
Sonny
Trey
Gray was
Green hit
exactly
2
what
of
they
them.
knew. We need to move on.
Whatever. Yankees, Indians win the Central. The Royals end up in last place. And the Astros in the West.
Royals in the right and left
Good
place.
team.
Okay, guys.
Pennant.
So we're going to move on to our next
Crazy.
segment of the night.
You're crazy.
One of our favorite segments we call "Are You Kidding Me?" And I've been,
yours.
it's my time to do this. My turn. I know we had a couple already that they're saying Donnie.
I
could've
can't even
been-
imagine.
garbage.
Are you kidding me? This is
Yeah.
no.
This
This
is
is
gonna be brutal.
this is a real. Are you kidding me? I
Brutal.
think, but
Please.
I disagree with what you guys already have to say.
I'm listening.
Are you kidding me? The Dodgers, the LA Dodgers. Come on, Win. Pay attention to
I'm
me
listening.
when I'm talking.
The
to you.
Brooklyn Dodgers.
No, if the LA Dodgers do
Yeah.
not win a championship with their big budget, their salary in the next 20 years,
20 years?
Say they don't win in 20 years.
How the hell
Someone
are we going to
brings them
cash
up-
in on this?
Someone brings them back to Brooklyn.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding
In
me?
20 years, if
Two
they don't
teams in
win,
the city already.
It's more like, are you
With the-
stupid?
Where are they going to play? In what's it called?
You're going to play the Barclays
Barclays.
Center.
Barclays Center.
it's going to be the first arena.
Right field's going to be like
Stadium.
Sheepshead Bay High School. It's a single.
Yeah, over the fence is a single.
Can I
Oh, man.
do I actually have to sit here and debate this?
This is ridiculous.
Because you know what, Win? If Bridgeside takes off, everybody, all you Brooklynites out there
He's
that
going to
want
bring
the
the
Dodgers,
Dodgers back.
The
We start a
Dodgers.
campaign right now. We
Oh
bring
my
the Dodgers
God.
back to Brooklyn.
I don't think anybody would become a Brooklyn Dodgers fan, though. We're all Yankee fans.
I got a Brooklyn Dodgers
Oh,
hat
Met
inside
fans.
right now. I'm upset.
I can understand if a Mets
The
fan
Met
became,
fans
yeah.
jump ship
Paul-
instantly.
All the Met
A
fans
bunch of
jump
Met
ship.
fans
All
will
the
jump
Met
ship
fans.
instantly.
Paul's going to forge some weird partnership in 15 years, like Paul and Ahmadinejad.
Yeah, I'm
are
going
bring
to
the
meet
Dodgers
some
back
guy
to
in
Brooklyn.
Dubai who's going to help me bring the Dodgers back to Brooklyn.
Some really
Are you
hated
kidding? This
person.
is me and my sister's
Hashtag bring the Dodgers
lifelong
back to
dream,
Brooklyn.
too, by the way.
Can I just say this?
You're a Mets fan. What do you mean it's your lifelong dream?
I was so interested in the Brooklyn Dodgers lore. I've always liked it. I've been a fan of the history of it.
I can at least respect
And
that.
I respect
okay.
the history of the Yankees too, and the battles they used to have back in the day, in the glory days of baseball.
Right.
The Yankee, it was like If you were in Brooklyn, you hated it. It's not just Met fans and Yankee fans like sitting at a table. We wouldn't be able to sit at a table right now if we were Brooklyn Dodger fans and Yankee fans. It was like you would have to kill each other because it was about class too at the time, like where you sat in society.
Yes, the Brooklyn Bums. Yeah.
The Brooklyn Bums.
Yeah, I get it.
Remember Jackie Robinson? He broke the color
barrier. We finally won in '55, and then they jumped ship.
Interesting.
All right. So can I just actually, if you said that, if your are you kidding me was within the next 20 years somebody's going to bring a baseball team back to Brooklyn, maybe I could see I'll say are you kidding me, but I might have been like maybe. You think the Dodgers are going to leave L.A., the second biggest market in America, to come play in Brooklyn?
2 football teams just came there. 2 football teams.
Maybe it's getting crowded there.
By the way, but they also, it's not like the Rams. They also draw.
They draw.
But
they're almost their owner was like,
they get there in the 5th inning, but they draw.
They do
You
draw.
know?
No, they absolutely draw.
Dude,
Yeah.
That might be the best Are You Kidding Me yet? Because it's really ridiculous.
It's also a 2-parter,
Really
yeah.
ridiculous.
Which look, the first one none of us could speak on. Yeah, you're right, Paul. 20 years. All right, fine.
Yeah, it's like
They're not gonna-
20 years.
No,
30 teams.
every year, like Darvish, if they don't win this year, this is one of the best shots they've had in the last 20
I think
years.
this is their best shot.
I mean,
Somehow
when's
the
last time they won?
Phillies
The
are going to
80s
develop a
with,
dynasty and win like 7 in the
But
next
why?
20
I
years.
mean,
Gibson?
is it their best shot? I mean, they got young talent. Not the rotation. It's more of
In our generation, they're notorious
position
for
players.
choking in the
They
playoffs.
do. Bellinger obviously is great, but
Your boy Seager.
right, but
Justin Turner at his best.
How long?
He's having a ridiculous year,
Another
though,
Met
yeah.
that they let go. Go ahead.
How long does Kershaw stay as the best pitcher in baseball? How many years does he have?
He's
2-3
a Hall
more
of
years.
Famer,
You got
legend, best
no,
ever.
No, I know.
About 4 years.
But how many
I would
more
say 2 or
years
3,
is he at
yeah,
the top of his
conservative.
Well,
game?
he's 29. Okay?
Right. So say he goes to 32, 33 pitching at this level.
Right.
Right. He's been in the major league since 2008.
So that's
a
3-4
good
more years.
13, 14 years pitching
Right.
at a ridiculous level. At some point, he's gonna start to get a little bit old. He's gonna break down a little bit.
Plus,
He
he's
has
got
been
a lot of
hurt
wear
here
and
and there.
tear.
Yeah.
Why is that, though?
How his window? How much long does he have?
I think he's got
No,
three,
because he doesn't,
3 or 4
because
more
he
great
doesn't-
years.
He doesn't
Great
have
years.
to overpower you,
Yeah.
which is one of the
Just a great pitcher.
majestic things about him. Yeah, he's like a throwback.
He's like a
almost.
combo of Greg Maddux and he's not that accurate, but he's a combo of Greg Maddux and like Pedro stuff.
also
You know what I
throws
mean?
But
Yes,
to the relative to this league now, he's not somebody like Verlander that was so dominant because they were overpowering with a great curveball and then just fell off pretty hard. He's a
Because
guy
he
that
lost his
pitches.
velocity.
This is a legend.
Very
Yeah.
well. Yeah,
He's probably one of the best pitchers we've ever
a
seen.
pitcher.
Yes.
Yeah,
If
not
mechanically.
the
Yeah.
He's the best I've
Yeah.
ever seen. Yeah.
Maybe Pedro.
I'll say
I
it.
would take
I
Pedro.
like Pedro more.
probably, but-
I'm also going to go with
And I
Roy
hate
Halladay,
Pedro.
who did fall off, but was one of the best of our
But
era.
he wasn't
Yeah.
as dominant for as long of a stretch as Kershaw is right now.
No,
No,
I agree
absolutely
with you
not.
on that. Yeah,
Absolutely
I'm saying at
not.
his peak though.
How do we get back on the Dodgers? Brooklyn Dodgers.
It's been a
Brooklyn Dodgers.
Dodgers heavy night.
Oh, too bad when this show isn't based out of LA. Our West Coast viewers.
I like tonight though because you know what? There's not a lot. We have a nice amount of topics tonight. It's nice. We could talk about it a little bit. We got a lot of time.
So what do you
know?
think their value is as a team right now? There
They
is
just
a
sold for $2 billion a couple years ago, so that's
I
their
was gonna
value.
say
It's still-
maybe 2.1.
2.2.
It's still less Forbes.
Yeah.
They're 2.4 LA Times.
And doesn't-
Really?
Wait,
They picked up
Magic
$400
Johnson,
million pretty quick.
Magic Johnson,
Yeah.
and who else are the owners?
The Yankees are the
No,
most
it's-
the
it's like a
highest
large group.
in any
Yeah.
sport. I think like
Magic
probably
Johnson's
0.2.
got
Real
open.
estate mogul.
Yankees are
Magic
3.2.
Johnson does not hold a
Was that
large
right?
amount
No,
of that
no,
team.
no.
When you're right. As
Yeah.
far as
Yeah, you're
Google
talking
search.
over me.
Sorry,
Come
that,
on,
that
man.
was, he's talking.
I
Go
just,
ahead.
that was a great
How
call.
much
How
would
much
it
the Yankees
take-
worth? I
how
said
much would it-
$3.2 billion on the dot.
Nice
That's
call.
great, yeah.
He's cool.
You
He
guys
looked it
are
up.
very
Yes,
close to those
and
numbers. How much money would it take to bring them to Brooklyn?
Who?
If you put a number on it, how much money would it take?
I don't think they would approve that move. The league.
If they had another LA team in place.
Donnie, I'm going to defer to you on this, the business. I don't even know how this would work.
Moving on.
How do
How do I make no?
Well, no, they have to find somebody. They have to.
The draft is going to take some time.
Well, the current ownership would have to think it's not worth it anymore to have the
There
team in
it is.
LA,
All right, guys.
which is not
the Brooklyn Dodgers hat.
All right.
Oh, my
It's not
God.
feasible.
it back to Brooklyn.
I like that
All right.
hat though.
Somebody would
That's
have
a
to
great hat.
Brooklyn would have to say, all right, we will give you
It's a great hat.
$15 billion to come.
And
play
by the way,
here.
not to mention, if you do market research, it's asinine also because Brooklyn sports are not doing well right now.
Yeah, well,
the
if-
hockey team's leaving.
Right.
The basketball team would if they weren't so heavily invested
LA
already.
just got two more
Winning
teams.
puts butts in seats most of the time. You're saying in LA it doesn't matter if you win. That if they lose for 20 years, just say they just
Yeah, but
suck for
LA's
20.
a growing market because
LA's
they just got two football teams.
LA's one of the
That
hugest
doesn't matter. They
markets in
can
the
lose
world.
one of those football teams in the
LA
next
is a-
15
Yeah, but
years.
you only had two football teams.
Well, you
to
had
one
that- but you had
city.
the-
Hold
had
on,
the
hold on.
LA
Don't talk
Rams
over me one
already.
second. One second. If you add two football teams to a city, that means a lot. That means that city's doing well.
It means that they
You
paid
don't
for
add
them.
two
Time
football
out,
teams.
time out, time
It's
out. But
LA.
Chris,
We
what I
know
mean.
it.
But
We know
that's
it's
what
LA.
I
But they
mean.
also lost the Rams.
Hold on, but there hasn't been
At one point.
there hasn't been a team in LA for 20 years, so it couldn't be doing that great.
Well, that's why it's doing good now.
Right, I
New
understand
York
that.
has two teams in every sport.
It has nothing to do with the market. Also, the LA Dodgers have already transcended. They are now tradition in that town.
Right.
Yeah.
They're very much ingrained. It has nothing to do with football. They are there. They're staying there no matter what happens. I mean, if a team like the Brewers are where they are for many, many years, a team like all of
The Royals,
ingrained,
like,
the
yeah.
Royals, those
Small
teams are
market
ingrained
team.
Right.
in their.
This is a big market team.
Oh, St. Louis is a dying city in general. They're not going to lose the
Oh,
Cardinals.
no way.
They just got a new stadium, within the last 15
If you
years.
said to me
It's
the-
not-
So you're saying based on tradition?
Hold on. If you said to me
Absolutely,
the
yeah.
Oakland A's are moving to Brooklyn, I'd believe that.
and even they're working out their stadium
Yeah,
they
situation
have
in
issues
Oakland.
already.
If the Raiders can leave, then the Oakland A's can leave.
Yes. All right.
Anything.
Oh,
can
no, I agree with you on that. But
Moving on.
most
We're
likely
going to move
Tampa.
on. Anything can happen.
We're
Brooklyn
moving on.
Dodgers come back. All right, we're moving on.
Get
to
your mind.
Bridgeside Fantasy Football Mock Draft Round 2.
We started last week, round one.
two.
Ding ding. We're Boo and Phil. Last
So
week,
where are we at, Chris?
So this is what happened. Last week I went for the first pick. It went to Donnie, then Boo, then Phil. So now it starts with you in the second round because it's the snake.
All right.
So you have.
I'm
There's
gonna
the board.
I'm gonna do something crazy. Maybe this is another "Are you kidding me" moment, guys.
Here it comes.
Here it comes.
Oh,
We've been,
no.
we've been in fantasy football leagues for a long
It's
time.
too early.
Did you take that hat off because somebody's giving you a Saints hat? Oh my God!
All right. I'm taking for my second round pick
Nobody gave
quarterback New Orleans Saints Drew Brees.
Horrible.
It's a terrible.
Horrible. Aaron
That's a
Rodgers is still
terrible
on the
pick.
board.
I was gonna say, "Are you kidding me?" Drew Brees is the best quarterback in football this year.
He
lost his best receiver.
That's a billion times better argument than them Dodgers coming to Brooklyn. A
No,
billion
but
times.
that's not. Are you kidding me? Dodgers
he
coming to
can.
Brooklyn is a lot more
Yeah.
outlandish.
But no, it's still nobody's better than Brady. It's still. Are you kidding me?
Well,
Are
I was
you
gonna
kidding
say
me?
it was.
Come on.
I was gonna say.
I mean, I'm just saying,
Brees
one
over
year
Brady.
and 1 year, Breeze could have a better year. In one
Could have
year.
a better year,
Yeah.
but
We're talking about fantasy now,
Brady's
too. We're not
40 years
talking
old.
about who do you want as a team. To
So you're really
evaluate
taking
the play.
Breeze here. Be serious. For
Brady just got
1.2
Brees'
seconds.
best weapon, I believe.
I'm taking Breeze.
All right. Great. I guess.
Craziness.
I've been away, man. I haven't done my fantasy
let me just
research.
let me
You
reiterate
just
the
paid
first
me to do
round.
the show out of nowhere. I haven't looked at one fantasy sheet.
I
yet.
know, but you can't take Breeze right there with Rodgers on the
What are you
board.
drinking in that?
What a sick laugh. What a
But you
sick
can't,
kid.
you can't take Breeze with Rodgers on the board. Anyway, first round,
I'll
real
take
quick.
Breeze over
Real
Rodgers.
quick, I'll go over for you guys. David Johnson, I took first, and Donnie took Bell, Le'Veon Bell, then Antonio Brown to Boo, Ezekiel Elliott to Phil, Julio Jones, Odell Beckham, Mike Evans, AJ Green, Devonta Freeman, LaShawn McCoy, DeAndre Hopkins, which Boo took
Yeah,
with the
let's put
11th
that
pick
up.
as a stretch.
Let's put that up, Chris. There we go.
And then Jordy Nelson.
the animal in the control room, Chris. The,
The
animal.
animal.
Liatzis.
Thanks, Animal. All right, so now we're on win after
All
that
right.
horrible pick
So-
of Drew Brees.
So this team has now become a boo/win team, and that's trouble for you guys.
So he took Hopkins
That's
first.
trouble for you guys.
This team took
I
Hopkins.
can't say, Mike, if you're watching, you should be. That's a very poor pick with DeAndre Hopkins in the first round. I'm just going to say that. So I have to come back here and maybe
Redeem it.
redeem it a little bit. We're going to have to go very
Safe.
no, not safe.
Not safe?
Not really safe.
Okay, not safe.
I'm a guy who was supposed to have a good big year last year. I was very high on, had a lot of carries. You know what? I take that back. I'm not going to take. I'm going to say him. I'll tell you in a second
You
what I
said
was
it.
going to take, but I
You
can't.
said it.
I
It's
actually,
official.
I actually can't do it because of just something I thought of, and it just doesn't.
Say
make
it
sense.
after he's taken later.
I will. I'm going to go Michael Thomas, New Orleans Saints.
Oh, great pick.
Yeah, I know.
That's a great pick.
It's a great pick.
Venture loves
With
him.
Love Hopkins.
Thomas.
After the Breeze, I figure, not that it really matters, but I figured I might as well keep it Saint, if that makes any sense. But no, I think Thomas without, oh my God.
Without Cook's gone.
Thank you, Cooks. Mine went blank. Without Cooks now in New England. I think he's the clear-cut number one. He's an athletic freak. He's a transformer, as you like to put it. That offense, he should be, he should be great. I would take
gain weight too.
I would take Michael Thomas, second round, second pick, and
That's a great pick.
12-team full PPR mock draft.
Yeah, this is PPR.
No, I know. I'm just reiterating to the fans.
Okay.
I'm going to go with a safe pick with Drew Brees. Wait, he's gone already? No, I'm going to go with...
Did you put your sunglasses on?
Well, I like the Bridgeside towel. Can we show the our loving audience that towel over there?
Yeah, all right.
A little smudge.
What are you in the home run derby?
Donnie, can we show the camera that towel real quick? I love that over here.
Bridgeside towel.
We just got some Bridgeside merch for our 4th of July special.
Help you out here. There you go.
All right, let's keep the draft going. Let's keep the draft moving.
Are you selling this merch? Why do you want me to show it?
And that's the last time you will talk over the host on this show, Chris. I can mute your mic right now.
Oh, you can?
Mute him.
I'm going to mute you next time
got the control panel?
next time you overtake me. You're out.
I'm
sorry.
actually going to go with Jay Ajayi. Great year last year, and I expect bigger things this year. I think their line's improved.
Well, let me just speculate on that for you real quick.
Please.
He actually got hurt already in training camp. Supposedly he's not taking reps right now.
No, but serious
You got
time.
plenty of
Though
time.
it's pretty early in
we
the
don't
process.
know yet, but he's hurt. He got hurt.
I'm going
I'm
on
just saying.
I'm going on a talent basis. I'm taking Jay Ajayi.
All right. No, that's not a bad pick.
I
If
love
he's
it.
healthy.
Yeah.
He was great. I had him last year. He was great after he got played, but a lot of his points came from those two big games.
Right.
So it could
The
be
200-plus yard games,
It
yeah.
could be very misleading
I
in
think-
terms of
yeah.
he does catch passes though.
No.
Yeah.
He's good in a PPR format. He's a good guy to have, but he was a little bit inconsistent at times.
Strong guy too,
but he's a beast,
Huge
yeah.
runner. Yeah.
So you got two bell cows for that team: LaShawn McCoy and then him.
Which
Ajayi.
I will say I wouldn't recommend that in a PPR league.
Two bell cows.
To go running back, unless you're getting a great value, best player of it.
Right.
You're hamstrung basically if you have two running backs. Just in my opinion, I know you may have a different strategy, but I feel like you're kind of hamstrung when you go running back. Wide receiver is one thing, especially if you have three wide receivers.
Wide receivers
Well,
deep.
I'll
too.
tell you what it is though. I do feel like there's more opportunity at wide receiver though.
I hear you.
Yeah,
I hear you, but
that's
there are
why
gonna-
I play that
but
way.
there are going to be
I see.
weeks. There are going to be weeks when you have guys like, when you have Julio Jones, you have another stud wide receiver that a guy has. That those two guys are going to put up 60 points,
Right.
And your running backs are
You're
going
right,
to give you 25, and those are your first two picks. So
Yeah.
that's just something
I
to
actually
think
agree.
about.
I think that after those first 5 or 6 running backs, like after McCoy, I think there's kind of a drop off. Maybe DeMarco. I like Murray too a little bit, but I think there's a drop off, and I think that I would rather go with a receiver in the second round than take like Gurley or Murray or Ajayi or Howard.
Once
Like,
they stop
I don't
catching
trust them, those guys.
passes, is a big.
There's a drop. Well,
it's
they
a
all
big
catch passes
because you can
They
get
all catch passes.
really low tier wide receivers to get you 12 points at basically having garbage time points, like at the end on a crappy team.
Right.
You can get those people to get you the points that even having 121 rushing yards, 120 rushing yards is a great game on paper, but in
Right.
fantasy. It doesn't
12
compare.
points.
It doesn't compare in the type of game.
Yeah, because
you would
touchdowns come and
consider.
go, right?
Yeah.
It's all
But if
luck,
you
yeah.
got-
Just touchdowns. Forget the touchdowns. I was
Yeah.
saying just based on yards and catches.
And then lastly, what I looked at was the elite level of talent wide receiver that was taken in the first round off the board.
Right.
And I just think that in the next pick or two, I could find wide receivers that I could find at the next level.
But remember, we're dealing with a 3 wide receiver league here, so you got to
Yeah.
get 3 wide receivers.
No, agreed.
And then
I
a
do
flex.
agree with you, yeah. My third wide receiver will be to the next tier.
I got
even,
you.
right? Yeah.
Well, let's keep this going. First of all, Animal, you could put in the picks on that paper as it's going, if you can. That you put.
Animal's got a lot going on.
I know
right
he
there.
does.
Maybe
He's doing
Alexa,
posts
you can
now.
help him.
Anyway, I'm gonna pick. Oh, by the way, just to back up those running backs, they do catch passes too. So if they have a great year, they
Oh,
can do
these
really
guys.
well.
Yeah,
All
I'm
these
saying
guys, yeah.
after these guys.
Who's your pick? Let's go, analyst.
So you took Michael Thomas, and he took Jay Ajayi. I'd probably go with which pick who's my guy in the first round? Which team? I
You're
can't
asking
see.
me who your players were? What
no.
kind of analyst are you? I just sat
I don't
down. I'm
remember
doing a
which pick
draft.
it was.
I know
There
who my
you go.
next
There you
pick
go.
is. Let's go.
All right, so that
Devonta Freeman.
So if
Horrible
I got
pick.
that running, that was me. If I got that pick in the first round, I would probably want to go wide receiver here. I'm going to go. I think this is a great spot to take T.Y. Hilton. So I'm going to go T.Y. Hilton.
He's the tops on my board
Yep.
right now. Yep.
PPR, guaranteed 90 balls. 85 at least.
Well, last year he was. Before that, he was more of a yardage guy. Last year he had a
Are we
lot
gonna-
of receptions.
And
Are
you
we
guys
going to
are
snake this
league
back
in
right now?
It goes
Yeah,
back to
no,
goes back to you, Nick.
Paul.
Goes back to you.
So, Paul, you
We go
have
around,
you have AJ Green on Phil's team right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have Phil's team, Elliott, Green, Breeze. That's
No. You just have Green.
You have
You-
Reggie
you-
Bush.
I'm going for
Yeah,
Phil.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
You have Reggie Bush. You're in the 8th slot right now.
Gotcha.
So 5th pick in the 2nd round. Who you taking?
I would take Gronk.
That's a great pick. That's
I
what I
would
was
take
going to
Gronk.
take.
I think
Sounds
that's
about
too
right.
early.
Yeah.
Why
No,
is it
I
early?
It's
agree with
risky.
it.
It's
Yeah.
risky.
Too
It's a risky move.
Too risky.
I actually think it's a great
If he
pick.
plays the whole season, it's an unbelievable pick. Yeah.
That's a fantastic pick. Who
Great
would have
value.
been my next pick? He's far and away the best tight end if he stays healthy.
Great
he's a stud.
value in
If
early
he stays
second
healthy,
round.
because he's a.
I think you could have got
If he
him
stays healthy,
in the
he's
early third.
He could be a top 8 pick if he stays
We'll have
healthy.
to see how that goes now, won't we?
If he's healthy,
I think
you
he
could have
could be a top 8 pick. Forget.
No, you're right.
He's in the first round,
He is
yeah.
a beast, but he's got to stay healthy, and he hasn't done that
it's
in
rough.
years. You know what I mean?
I just read that he is going to Tom Brady's therapy facility now. He says, "Yeah, I have to do it at this point in my career."
Ooh.
But I don't know what that means. They're gonna. I don't know why he wouldn't go all of a sudden, before this is quarterback. He doesn't go to his therapy facility, but maybe he's going to Dr. Phil. We don't know about it. Phil didn't do a good job. He's going back to Brady.
All right, I'm going to
Next
go.
pick.
This is the pick who I was going to take earlier, but I couldn't take him because that team already had Hopkins. I didn't want Hopkins and Miller on the same team.
Right.
Lamar Miller.
So this is the team
You
of
like
Evans,
Miller
right?
for some reason. I don't like him.
I'm a
that
huge
much. I
fan of
don't like
Lamar
him.
Miller. That
I don't like
offense
him.
last year was anemic.
I know.
Anemic. All right? New quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Hopkins will have a better year offensively, and I think that'll open things up for Miller.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's good. O'Brien loves to run the ball.
Yep.
He's going to get his 250 touch. He catches passes, and he's got great speed. He gets into an open field.
Oh,
He's
I
got
like
awesome
him too.
speed.
Yeah.
So
I just think you reached a little here too.
who would you have taken?
I mean, DeMarco Murray's still there.
I'm not a big fan of DeMarco Murray
I know,
at all.
but he had a great year last
I know
year.
he had a great year. I'd rather have a guy who I think is more talented, who doesn't play off his line. I know Murray's had some great years, Dallas, but he's getting up there in age, and I'm not the biggest Mariota fan. I know he's a rookie quarterback, but
Great
my
O
opinion.
line though, and they run the ball a lot.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
But
How can you
I
not
understand.
like him after a year?
Who?
Well, Mariota.
No, it's been 2 years.
2 years. Yeah.
I'm just not a
After 2 years, how can you
I'm
not
not saying
like
I'm
Mariota?
not saying I don't think he's going to be good. I'm not a big fan of
His
the
style of
whole
play?
No, I'm not a big fan of the whole Titan offense.
scheme?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't. I'm
and you
not
paired that with Mike Evans, right? That was with Mike
yeah,
Evans.
Mike
team?
Evans,
Okay.
Lamar Miller.
All right.
So I'm going with Odell Beckham, second rounder,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to go DeMarco Murray. He's the best on the board at this point.
Fair
He
enough.
carries the load for Tennessee, who I already think is going to be a great team this year.
All right.
Their line's good. Their running game's it's nice. He carries the load, but he's also got Henry there.
Yeah, but they'll still use Murray a lot.
No, they'll use him more, right?
Yeah.
And they've added to the wide receiver game too for some nice balance.
which should help. Yeah, it
Yeah.
should help.
So
It's a good
Okay.
pick. It's a great pick.
Yep.
This is the last pick.
No,
How many more rounds
we
do
have
we do?
a few more.
Oh, wow.
Well, it's 12 picks in a round.
Okay.
That's why
All right, Chris.
We go
Julio.
around
Who you,
3 times.
Who you pair with Julio?
Oh, so now it's with Julio. Okay. So who's left on the board here? Let me see. Okay. Julio. I might go another receiver here.
I feel like I'm at a real draft with you. Tick.
So
tick.
You
this
really
is
are taking a lot of time.
while Chris thinks this is Bridgeside Studio. We actually most of our baseball team, the Brooklyn Bandits. We have a local team. We have a league together. We have drafts in here on the projector, and this is pretty much exactly what it's like.
I
We
got
sit
it.
and wait. We sit and wait.
Except it's
several minutes.
way less
Slower.
No.
It's really slow.
It's much. It's not as nice.
Maybe
put it
we'll
that way.
live stream it so people can
It's
see.
fun.
I don't think we
Football
should.
draft
There's
is
no
much
reason
better
to
than
do that at
baseball.
all.
We filmed it. We didn't stream
It
it.
was 6 hours one year.
The
We
football
left
draft
here
is
at
much
4
better
in the
than
morning.
baseball, though, because
Yeah.
baseball's just slow.
Too many
brutal.
players.
All right, so I'm going to
21 rounds.
take here Amari Cooper.
Mark Cooper, great
Oakland,
pick.
Good pick.
I like it.
I like it.
Big fan of Amari Cooper.
Big
Okay,
year,
so
breakout.
we're 8 picks through right now. I just want to give a little recap for people who are paying attention and care about fantasy football. For the 13th pick, I've had Breeze win. Who was yours? Your first
Michael
pick?
Thomas.
Michael Thomas.
Yep.
Donnie.
I went Jay Ajayi.
JJ Ajayi for 14th pick or 15th pick. Then Chris
And then I took T.Y. Hilton.
T.Y. Hilton. And back to me, I did Gronk.
I then took Lamar Miller.
Gronk, Lamar.
And then I
Miller,
went with Marco Murray.
Right.
DeMarco
And
Murray.
then I went with Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper.
Now it's back to you, Paulie
Now
boy.
back to Paulie boy.
Oh,
what
boy.
outlandish thing? I guess you can't top.
I get
Breeze
made fun
in the
of.
second round.
I get made fun of at least 2 times at every draft, and every year I'm in the top 3 teams.
Somehow.
Somehow,
Nobody knows how.
magically. It's
It's
not.
a magic.
It's not
It's
because
magic.
it's all magic.
Spelling these names
It's not
great,
because
by
of
the way.
Drew Brees.
Listen, animal. Not a football
I have-
fantasy.
I have 3 championships, buddy. You have 1.
Wow.
Chris is still looking for his first.
I've been to 4.
Yeah, I'm like the Bills. I'm 0-4 in championship.
I'm 1 for 4. 1 for 4.
0 for 4.
It's all right.
That's
Paul.
bad. That's
all right. That's all right. You
Wait, I'm 1 for 5
All right,
actually.
make your
I'm
pick.
1 for 5.
Do your thing.
I'm going to take Mr. Des Bryant.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. You can't go
I
wrong
guess
with it.
it's a safe
I got
pick.
Except for injuries.
Yeah, I mean, that offense should be pretty good. Good line.
He didn't do amazing last year, even though
He was banged up.
Yeah, but even when he came in, he wasn't like he was spreading the ball out a lot. What's his name was?
Yeah, Jason Witten was still alive last year somehow.
No, but there's no other options on that team besides like Cole Beasley. Like Bryant's by
They're
far the best
bootleg
option.
guys. They're bootleg guys.
They're like, So go ahead, Win, you do.
All right, I'm going to go with one of the biggest running backs in football, Jacksonville Jaguar Leonard Fournette.
Wow. The rookie. The first rookie off the board.
First rookie off the board. I think he's a beast. He's going to get goal line carries. I think that team will be improved. Like Coughlin went over there. He's going to put his military style on the thing.
You think so? No, yeah, they are going to probably pound the ball.
I think
They
they're
couldn't
going to
be
a
much
lot
worse. Yeah.
They couldn't be right. They couldn't be much worse. And I think a good running game will help Bortles. I don't think Bortles is terrible. So I think Fournette's going to get a lot of carries.
Right, and that was paired with the Ezekiel
Antonio
Elliott.
Brown. Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown?
Yeah.
That was that pick?
He had Ezekiel Elliott.
Okay, so what I'm going to say about Fournette, though, is in PPR, he's not a great pass catcher.
Oh, I'm
Never was.
aware of
Yeah.
that. But if he scores 14 touchdowns and he
Right.
catches 25
With the
passes,
Jags?
30 passes, I think he's an animal. He's got good
Yeah.
speed. He's strong. I think he's going to get a lot of goal
He's
line
definitely a
carries.
freak. Yeah.
Allen Robinson a couple years got 15 touchdowns for the Jags.
That's a receiver, though. It's a different
Which is harder to score than a running back.
Well, if you're a bad team and you're always playing catch-up, it's good for receivers.
They were bad a few years ago, and they were bad last year. They just didn't put many points. I think they're going to be better
And their
this
D's
year.
gonna be
and
good,
I
probably.
think and I think they're going to try to keep the ball. They're not going to go so pass heavy, and the Bortles throwing 60 times a game. They're going to try to keep him a little sheltered almost. So I think Fournette's going to have a lot of carries.
Okay. So, I mean, solid pick. Right. I just heard something about one of the O-linemen they just got in free agency retired for some reason. I forgot who it was, but he retired. Anyway, go ahead. You go.
I'm going with Demaryius Thomas.
Nice.
It's a safe pick.
That's a good PPR safe.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah.
He throws up stats every year as long as he's on the field.
I'm just not a fan of the Denver offense.
He was not supposed to have that great of a year last year, and he actually overperformed. And I think he will again.
There's guys there. You're like
Simeon hits him though. It's all the pairing also.
There's only two receivers there.
I'm not arguing with you. I don't think it's bad. I just personally I'm not a huge fan of that.
Great hands
that
too.
Offense. Well, he's an NFL wide receiver. He better have great hands.
No, but you know what I mean. Like Brandon
No, I
Marshall,
know, I
great
know.
hands. Where like he could put up 16 catches in a game.
So wait, is this the last pick of the round?
Last pick, buddy.
All right. So that was paired with Bell.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So this is paired with David Johnson. I see somebody who is left on the board here to grab that I really like. I'm gonna go Brandon Cooks here, dude, on New England.
Yeah.
I think that's a great.
They spread that offense out so much.
I know,
though.
but
You
it's
can
hard to-
never
it's
tell.
hard
But the problem
Yeah.
is, if Gronk gets hurt, or even if he's healthy, let's say, like Julian Edelman's older now. He's an underneath guy. He's more of like a possession guy at this
He's a
point.
PPR
Slot guy.
beast.
Yeah. No, he's solid. Yeah. But I'm saying the home run hitter, the guy that's going to get you numbers, Cooks is the guy. Cooks is the guy he's going to light up for big yardage plays.
You're praying he's like
week to week though that changes for them.
You're
I know.
praying he's like
he's
a
not
little
a PPR beast. I'll tell
Randy
you that. But I love him.
Moss-esque. You're hoping.
Right.
Yeah, you need that to be right.
Getting that Randy Moss,
hope over there.
a little bit of that in there. Yeah, because that's the last time they had. But I mean, Chad Ochocinco was done, and he didn't get the system.
They haven't had a stud wide receiver in a while.
Since
That's
then.
actually
No, he was their
been
last
good
true
before
number one.
Brady.
Yeah.
Right. They've
Right.
had guys that Brady has made great. Edelman, Welker. I
Right.
shouldn't say Brady made great because Welker was great before that, but they've never had that outside threat.
Besides Morse,
Stretch the
yeah.
field besides Morse, guy that you say, wow, this guy's awesome.
And here he is now.
And he's there.
That's why I think
You know?
there's too much upside here.
Yeah, I
for
love
me to let
the
him
pick.
pass. Yeah.
I like the pick.
So
Absolutely.
that was the second round.
All right.
Go ahead, Paul.
Excellent.
All right, for my next pick.
No,
We're done with the round.
He's all
For
excited.
my last pick.
For my last
Round 3 is
trick.
next week.
All right, we didn't get the names up, but all right, let's just quickly recap one more time.
Okay.
I want to get these names. The animals having
So
a
we
hard
got
time
Drew
today.
Brees,
We got Drew Brees, 13th pick, 14th pick.
Michael Thomas,
Okay, 15th pick,
Jay Ajayi.
16th pick.
T.Y. Hilton. Who was 17?
17th pick was Rob Gronkowski.
Oh, right.
18th pick,
Lamar Miller.
Lamar Miller.
19th pick was DeMarco Murray.
DeMarco Murray. Don't worry about it, Chris.
Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper. Then it came back to me, and I said Des Bryant.
Right.
Leonard. All you got to do is
20.
Leonard Fournette.
Of course, Jack
Leonard.
Forney was the next pick. The viewers can't see
Then
this,
you, then who
unfortunately.
to win? Oh, let him catch up.
Demarius Thomas.
And then
Look at Amari Cooper right there.
it's
Nice.
okay. We're moving past this.
Yeah.
Demarius Thomas 21st, and rounding out this round.
Brandon Cook.
Brandon Cook.
Brandon Cooks.
Beautiful.
There you go. For
Beautiful.
all of you
Great
fantasy football aficionados out there,
I believe once we get closer, we'll probably have like some sort of fantasy football
we'll do a
special.
We'll do a
And guess
nice.
what?
We'll do a nice draft board.
One last thing. And Aaron Rodgers is still on the board. just to let you know, Breeze is taking
We
12,
are
12 picks
Way
ago.
long ago. Yeah.
Rodgers is still on the
We're
board.
not that good at fantasy football. No. I make it every year. I'm gonna
Speak for
take this
yourself.
out. Drew Brees. We're moving on to the question of the night. We're going into OT tonight. OT question of the night. Who on Game of Thrones? Who will kill Cersei Lannister?
Wow. I love that we're bringing up Game of Thrones. It's been great. The last episode was great.
It's the highest form of entertainment right
Yeah.
now.
The whole
This whole
show
season's
is
been
just
great
like
so far.
another level. It's like
Oh,
I was
yeah,
watching
it's ridiculous.
when Jon and Daenerys, when they met, I was like, this is like something out of a movie. This is unbelievable. I was just sitting there like this. I'm like, I can't believe they're actually here together.
Did you watch the producers
that was
talk
awesome.
about it
Yes,
after?
it
And
was
they
awesome.
said on set it's notoriously boring, but it was just a different vibe on set once they
When they
had
met,
these
yeah.
two characters that's been amped up for this whole 7
It was
years.
great.
And
Oh,
it was
my God.
an unbelievable moment, even for the people making it. Really quick before we move on, I just want to say something so we can really get into the Game of Thrones here for a few minutes. I don't want to forget about our fans watching and commenting. Tim Hillert said back to the question tonight about the Brooklyn Dodgers. I said they're going to come back to Brooklyn the next 20 years if the Dodgers stink in L.A. And he said the Yankees and Mets have to prove the move first. Same happened with the Cyclones and Staten Island Yankees. They both needed to prove teams. I don't know if it's necessarily the
Yeah.
case, but
No, I believe
Tim
so.
Hillert-
Yeah, I think the whole
so
league has to approve
the
it.
league has to
Actually,
approve it. Apparently, both New York teams. So we'll move past that, and I'm going
market
to
issue,
say
you're
And we
right.
got one answer to
right off
question
the
now.
bat, we got
Yeah.
two answers actually.
Oh, nice.
We have from Dana D'Angelo, question of the night answer. She says Jamie.
That's my pick.
Jamie Lannister.
my
We'll pick, and that's also your team name. And
Jamie Lannister,
in our
my favorite
baseball league,
character on the
in our
show.
baseball league, Chris is the commissioner of our league. And he one night in the middle of the night, when we're all
changed everybody's
sleeping,
team's
he
name.
changed the whole league name to Game of Thrones, the divisions to King's Landing
Winterfell.
and Winterfell.
I didn't even watch the
and
show.
changed everybody's team name to a male character.
I didn't watch the show at the time, and I tried to change mine back, and I got screamed at.
Tyrion.
Like a
He's Tyrion
bitch.
Lannister,
Somebody like a
and he
bitch
didn't know
screamed at me for doing that.
I
I
didn't.
Jon Snow, of course.
Somehow we got Jon Snow, yeah.
Coincidentally, I ended up looking like him. I didn't even know. I didn't know until I grew my hair. My hair got curly.
You look like a
poor man's
midget
Jon
JJ
Snow.
Reddick. What are you talking about, Jon Snow?
I got.
I'm average height. all right?
I was given before I watched the show. I was given Theon Greyjoy. I didn't watch the show at this point. I literally said I changed my team name back to "Don't ever touch my team again." 2 weeks later, I started watching the show. It was like maybe season 2, I think, at that point.
Maybe 3.
And I was like, I don't like this guy's team name. And somehow the Hound wasn't taken, so I'm now the Hound.
He's the Hound.
And this was before Theon.
This is a
then you
long time
changed
ago.
it.
This is before he got castrated.
But then you changed
Yeah.
it to King Hound.
No, because I won.
Well, he won. Yeah, we changed
I
it to
won the
King
league,
when we
buddy.
won. Yeah.
Disgusting.
Disgusting.
Season 7 was actually our first viewing when the show's been on the air live.
Yeah.
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 So we caught up the first 6 seasons.
So Dana D'Angelo says Jamie Lannister will kill Cersei, and Katie Hakusa says Arya Stark will kill.
Wow.
Very feasible. Two of the most feasible options.
Two top picks.
To not really going out on a limb, but also Katie is one of our own at Bridgeside. I'm going to say this: she had a great theory that I don't know if it's going to be true or not, and maybe this is a spoiler just in thought process. But she says Arya will kill Cersei as Jamie Lannister with the mask.
That's what a lot of people are saying.
yeah, it seems to be the
And
popular
Katie,
thing.
I like
Wow.
it, Katie, but
I love that
I like it,
theory. I
Katie.
think it's very Game of Thrones has to do something like that.
Yeah.
You know, I think Jamie's going to get so disgusted with her.
yeah,
I think
building up.
it's built. Yeah, it's built. Like
he's too smart.
I think it's too easy for him to kill her. I feel like the show is it's not like that. I feel like you expect something and it doesn't happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as much as I want to say Jamie, I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be Khaleesi somehow.
You think so?
Maybe Khaleesi giving the order. I don't know if she's
I mean, she is still Khaleesi, but
not
come
a bad
on,
pick.
she's not Khaleesi anymore. She's Daenerys Targaryen. Daenerys.
whatever. You know.
Or
what I mean.
Dany, Daenerys.
She's my Khaleesi.
She's always going to be my Khaleesi.
She's a bunch of things.
Did you?
Oh,
it was like
my
a
God.
3-minute
And he's like,
introduction in
and,
that
yeah,
last
what's it-
episode.
and the Onion Knight's like, and this is the King of the North.
Jon Snow.
Jon Snow, the King of the North.
He's the King of the North.
He's the
Great.
King of the North.
Davos, fantastic,
That
fantastic.
was great.
Davos Seaward.
That was great.
He was
Davos.
Probably
fantastic.
one of the best characters.
Yeah,
Very
I like him.
underrated.
He's very underrated. Yeah.
Yeah.
No
So
one's
anyway.
Davos in our league.
How is that possible?
Because everybody
Because
picked
there
their
were
own
12
team
better
names. Everybody picked their own
characters.
names.
But what, people who were dead.
Yeah, some people are dead. Like
Mike and Joffrey, Robb Stark, they're all
Yeah,
dead. They've
Robb
been dead
Stark.
for 4 seasons.
Davos
Yeah,
is
but
not
they
a
wanna
better
keep those
character
names.
than. Are you kidding me? Davos is not better than Joffrey Lannister.
Joffrey
Well,
was
Boo
way better.
picked
No,
him.
now
Joffrey
he is, though. He wasn't at
Joffrey
the
was
time.
crazy when he was
king.
there.
Boo
He was a
was
great
king.
character when he was
He was
there.
ca-
He was
Every-
so hateable.
Everybody picked their own guys.
People want to kill Jack Gleason as a result of him
wait,
doing that.
He got
role.
out of acting because of it. Jack Gleason, the actor who plays Joffrey Lannister, literally quit acting.
that
for
a
a while.
fact?
Yeah, he
He
was so
stepped down from
hateable.
acting,
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
But he might come back.
Wait,
but
you know what's funny? There was actually a trade for names in our league. It was between Jason DiGennaro and Malvin.
Malvin.
They traded
Oh, for Baelish,
not
yeah.
players. They didn't play. They didn't trade players. They traded Game of Thrones.
They
Game of Thrones
traded-
names, yeah.
Malvin traded for Peter Baelish.
Why? I don't know.
Why? I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't
but,
know.
What did he give up?
But hold on. He gave up a 20th pick in next year's draft.
And Dario Naharis. And he
no,
got Dario Naharis.
no, Jason picked Dario Naharis, who's not even in the show anymore. Who knows where he is?
Oh, he's a
the
Marine.
king. He's the
running
king of
Marine.
Marine right now.
Do you think he comes back at some point? Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't die on
Might
camera, I feel like
peripherally,
you
maybe.
come back no matter what.
Peripherally.
You come
It's
back
not
no
gonna
matter
be a
what.
big
Just like
thing.
Jorah.
But Jorah, yeah.
And the Hound.
But
Yeah.
I would say that Jamie's going to
Except
wind up.
Stannis didn't. They didn't show him getting
He might
killed.
not be dead.
He's dead. He was one of my favorite characters. He's gone. He's not coming back.
You like Stannis? That's kinda
absolutely
boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really like Stannis.
It is
Knew
the
that
background.
before,
Trust me.
He had the most reasonable
Trust
claim.
me, I
But
like
anyway, I wanted to say the reason why I think Jamie. No, you
I was just
no.
saying the
Oh.
same answer. I didn't answer.
Oh
the
no, I
question.
didn't know you were
Just
saying
go for it,
something.
go
No,
for
please
it.
go. Please go.
I said I was going to say that Jamie. The reason why I think it makes sense to do Jamie is because think about it. I know it's too easy to kill him. You said, but when the Mad King was going mad, right? He did it reluctantly, kind of at the very end when things were out of hand.
When he
might
had
do
no
the
choice.
same
Will he
with
do
her.
it behind her back?
Yes,
just like he
exactly.
did the May. Can't look her in their face.
And then they call
That's going to be
Queen
very
Slayer
poetic.
and King Slayer.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
And I think
Slayer
and in
and
one of the
Kingslayer.
prophecies in the books that she got the prophecy that she was going to lose her kids, and like that witch that when she was a kid they showed a flashback of it in like season 5.
Right.
Whatever the Valyrian word for little brother, he said
She
she's
said
going to
that,
be
right?
like taken out by her
And Jaime's
little brother.
technically a little
He's
brother.
a twin, but
And-
he's technically younger.
And everybody thinks it's Tyrion.
And everyone thinks it's Tyrion.
And I think,
Smart.
but on a related note, I think it's going to be Jamie, and I think it's ultimately going to be because she's responsible for the death of Tyrion. I think Cersei's going to kill Tyrion in some
Wow.
way,
I like
and
that
then
twist.
Jamie, that's because she's already
That's the thing that
gone
puts him
mad,
over.
and that's
Because
going to
now
put him
he
over.
knows,
Yeah.
He always knew that he didn't kill Joffrey. Tyrion didn't kill Joffrey. He didn't poison
Now
him.
he knows for
Right.
sure.
Now he knows for sure that
Yeah.
Olenna.
What do you think he's going to?
Well, he's always had love for him, regardless.
No, they were
Yeah.
always.
We
yeah.
can have literally a 1-hour Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I know.
recap every week.
It's sad.
I
We should
just
do
wanna
a
say
Game
one
of
thing.
Thrones talk show. That's
How do you think Cersei's going to react when he tells her that it was actually not Tyrion?
She's going to
No,
ignore it.
Well, yeah,
The
because
same thing she always does.
Yeah,
she
she just-
killed her
she just
father.
hates
What's
no,
the
yeah, he
difference?
was
Yeah,
already
right,
killed
right,
the father,
you know?
so yeah.
True.
He may not even tell her.
Great show.
He may not tell her.
I'm so excited.
All right.
I got to wait 6 more days.
All right.
It kinda stinks that
Anybody
it's
with
the
a
summer.
different, anybody with a different opinion out there that doesn't think it's going to be Jamie or Arya. Now Arya, she's on the first one on the list, so it stands to
Right.
reason that Arya
Can
could.
if Tyrion happens to kill Jamie,
He would never
Tyrion
kill
happens to
Jaime.
kill Cersei,
No.
right? Do I get credit for that? Because technically he works under Daenerys.
Yeah, I guess you give it
Do I
credit
get
for
that count? Do I get the count?
I mean,
No,
Tyrion
it'd be-
should
I
get
be
the
a little
point.
separate
It'd be him
'cause that's
acting
a
in his
personal
way.
vendetta too. There's a personal vendetta.
I said that so it would be like a whole, like covering of all her minions.
yeah, you wanted to kick the field, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
You took the field.
exactly.
No, because you think she'd want to hold her up in some sort of court, and if he just killed her immediately, that does kind of take the satisfaction away from Daenerys.
Right.
The show goes so many ways.
There's a lot of levels to the
Very
show. Guys, we're going to end it with that. It seems overwhelmingly it's going to be Jamie, Arya, or maybe Tyrion, and nobody else, really. She's not going to die randomly. Or the other option is none of the above.
Will she die brutally?
Will she die at all?
Will she die
She has to
brutally?
die.
She has to die.
in
There's
the
no
show.
way
Why?
you would
Why does
think.
she have to
Because
die?
how is she going to join them against the fight against the White Walkers? She can't.
She's not.
She's too evil.
Yeah,
She's too mad.
Maybe 3 seasons ago, but now she's too far gone.
She's
she
too
lost
far
all
gone,
her kids. Her kids were the only thing holding her back to reality.
Jamie can come back,
and
though.
humanizing her. The only humanization they gave to her on the show was the fact that she was
Her kids.
a loving mother.
Yeah.
That's about it, guys. I want to thank you for being on the show. This has been another edition of Bridgeside Sports Live. Tune in next week. Tomorrow. Don't tune in tomorrow before you tune in next week to the show, because tomorrow we have Bridgeside Live, our live music show we do every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Tomorrow we have one of Bridgeside's very own audio engineers, AJ, coming with his band, Shakeout. It's going to be a 2-piece set. Shakeout's going to be awesome. You don't want to miss it. And, guys, thanks once again. It was a pleasure being the host of the show. Maybe I'll do this again, but maybe I'll just stay in the control.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Pleasure having you.
Guys,
Anytime
good
you want
night.
to come
Good
on,
night,
Paul.
everybody.
Good night.
Go Bridgeside. Go